Good evening, East Alabama. This is the Locker Room presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond. I'm Namath Pitts. Welcome in on this Tuesday afternoon. We are continuing what we were talking about yesterday, which is the first round of the state baseball playoffs. Except today we are going to head north and we are going to be talking Etowah County baseball. That's right. We are going to recap the first round of the state playoffs for the Coosa Christian Conquerors, for the Glencoe Yellow Jackets, for the Westbrook Christian Warriors. Also going to be recapping the first round of the state playoffs for other teams as well. Teams like, well, you're going to hear from their head coach, Etowah Blue Devils. Coach Bone's going to be on today. We're going to talk a little bit about the Boaz Pirates who fell in the first round and also talk about Southside, the Panthers. So we have got a busy show for you guys. So we're not going to waste any time. We're going to get straight into the action. We start our show every day with our scoreboard. Before we get into our scoreboard, if this is your first time watching us here at East Alabama Now, right now is a great time to press that pause button. Wait just a second before you do. Go hit that like and follow button on our East Alabama Now page so that you don't miss the Locker Room. We're here every weekday, Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Also tonight at 6:30 p.m., Mike Stedham and Katie Edwards will have your local news. I believe Mike has the day off, but Katie will be there for you guys tonight. John Holder has your local weather, and I will be bringing you your sports as we look more at an Alexandria baseball player, Nick Thompson, who is committed to play baseball at the next level. All right, we start our show every day with scoreboard from yesterday. Today we're going to get into the action for softball because there wasn't any baseball yesterday. So let's go ahead and go to our softball scoreboard and take a look at the action from yesterday. Let's start with the Sacs Wildcats and the Anniston Bulldogs. Olivia Wills launched a 2-run home run, which set the pace as Sacs beat Anniston 13-3. AJ Twyman contributed to the lead with a 3-run home run for herself. Adriana Stevens had a perfect night. She went 4 for 4. Kaylee Miller also had a perfect day, going 3 for 3. Pitcher Ava Sneed struck out 6 batters as Sacs got the win over Anniston 13-3. Moving forward, it was senior night for the Oxford Yellow Jackets. Berkeley Mooney had a lot of strong games this year. She delivered another strong performance yesterday. She hit a home run, drove in 2 runs, and she got the win on the mound for Oxford. She had a 2-run home run at the plate that gave Oxford an early 5-0 lead. In the circle, she struck out 6 batters, allowed just 1 hit in 2 innings. Other seniors that also had big games on senior night, Reagan Sanders had a single, drove in 2 runs. Kaylin Crosley went 2 for 4 with a double, a run, and an RBI. Adaja Wilson had a productive game, going 2 for 4 with a triple and scoring 2 runs. And Emma Timms Becerra went 3 for 4 with 2 runs and an RBI. Other seniors, well, a lot of seniors for the Oxford Yellow Jackets. Jamia Gaston had a double, a run, and RBI. Chloe Holsey had a double and RBI. And then Ashlyn Burns, who's headed to Wallace State Community College, she scored a run and had an RBI. It was a strong showing from the seniors who have been instrumental in Oxford's success. They continued to add to it last night in a 12-2 win over Raglan. How about the Hanley Tigers? Mariana Whaley and Ava Hill, they only give up 4 hits, and Hanley is now ranked in the top 10 in Class 4A. They defeated a top 10 team in Piedmont. Last week, Hanley beat Alexandria. This week, they beat Piedmont. They beat the 2 teams that finished at the top of the Calhoun County tournament. Against Alexandria, Whaley gave up only 2 hits. Well, I got to tell you what, last night gave up 4 hits, 1 earned run while striking out 4 batters. Her performance got the win. Hill took over the remaining 3 innings, struck out 7 batters without allowing any hits or earned runs. Offensively for Hanley, Camlyn Holloway led the charge. She had 2 solo home runs, while Kia Brown had a solo home run. Hill also had a great day at the plate, went 2 for 3 with a double, a run, and an RBI. Ella Hopper went 2 for 3 with a double. For Piedmont, Carson Young was 1 for 3 with a run and an RBI. Cadence Buttram hit a single, had a run and an RBI. And J.C. Glover, who's a senior for the Bulldogs, had a solid day going 2 for 3 with a double. But it was the Hanley Tigers that got the win over Piedmont 6-3. We're talking Etowah County baseball today. Well, last night, Sadie Waldrop had a stellar game. She went 3 for 4 with a triple, drove in 3 runs as Glencoe got the win over Jacksonville on their senior night, 6-5. Summer Crump also added a great day for Glencoe, going 3 for 4 with a double and scoring 2 runs. Emma Croy had a strong performance, went 2 for 3 with a run and RBI. Case Willett was 3 for 4 with a double, and Abigail Bunt also went 2 for 3. For Jacksonville on senior night, Lexi Phillips stood out. She went 3 for 4 with 2 doubles, a run RBI. Johanna Ingram went 1 for 4, drove in 2 runs, and Anna Strain went 2 for 3 with a run and an RBI as Glencoe got the win 6-5. How about Spring Garden? Hannah Ingram went 2 for 4, had a double and a run as Spring Garden got the win over White Plains. There was RBIs from Maggie Reedy, Lily McCain, and Olivia Law. On the mound for Spring Garden, Avery Stewart pitched a complete game. She gave up 6 hits, 2 earned runs, and struck out 6 batters. For White Plains, Callie Richardson had 2 solo home runs. Sarah K. Adams had a good game, going 2 for 4. And Carly Fritz had a double last night. Pitching-wise for the Wildcats, Leighton Arnold struck out 10 batters, allowed 3 hits, pitched 5 2/3 innings. Despite that, White Plains still fell short as Spring Garden got the win over White Plains 4-2. So that is all of the softball action from yesterday in East Alabama. Last week we talked Donahoe Falcons soccer with Coach Melton. Their team is on a roll. They're going to host the first round of the state playoffs next week. So speaking of the Donahoe Lady Falcons soccer team, let's go ahead and take a look at the soccer action from last night. We're going to start with Donahoe. They played at Jacksonville State last night where they played Fort Payne. Senior Erin Turley put on an impressive show. She scored all 3 goals for Donahoe as she led the Falcons to a 3-1 win over Class 6A's Fort Payne. That was the final game of the regular season for Donahoe. The team is now set to host the first round of the state playoffs next Tuesday. We will be at that game next Tuesday for highlights. So a week from tomorrow, you can catch highlights of Donahoe in the first round of the state playoffs. They will host Altamont. Altamont will make the trip to Donahoe in the first round. That'll be next Tuesday at 6:30 for the ladies. Speaking of Donahoe, the boys are also in the playoffs, but they're going to go on the road as they're going to play Westminster of Oak Mountain. That game will be Monday as, again, the Donahoe boys are on the road. Needless to say, successful end of the regular season, though, an encouraging tone for both Donahoe teams as they enter the playoffs. Hey, let's talk about another team that's been really good. That's the Calhoun County runner-up, the Jacksonville Golden Eagles. Yeah, Lexi Page and Emerson Weaver both scored hat tricks, each notching 3 goals last night as Jacksonville ended the season and clinched the title in Class 4A Area 5. Willa Kate Walker and Kylie Terrell contributed to the scoring with 1 goal apiece. And I got to tell you, the defense, Emma Easterling, she played a crucial role defensively for Jacksonville. Goalie Kelsey Sigler made 5 saves as Jacksonville got the win 8-2. Looking ahead, Jacksonville girls will start their playoff run next Tuesday at home when they face Cherokee County. The Jacksonville boys, well, they'll face Westbrook Christian on Monday. Game times are not yet announced for both of those games, but the Jacksonville girls are in the playoffs. And the final game from last night featured the Weaver girls. Lena Johansson scored 2 goals, made a save as Weaver got the win on senior night 6-2 against the Talladega County champions. Seniors Ariana Richmond and DJ Gibbs each scored 2 goals, while Maggie Santiago provided 2 assists. Gianna Luna added assists. Brooke Jones made 7 saves. Overall, it was a successful senior night as Weaver girls got the win over Talladega 6-2. All right, that is the soccer action from East Alabama last night. Hey, when we come back, we're going to talk first round of the state baseball playoffs. In this segment, you're going to hear from Coosa Christian head coach Dewayne Boyd. You're going to hear from Westbrook Christian as well. We're going to talk Warrior baseball with the head coach for the Warriors, which is Mr. Jerry Windle. So you'll hear from those two in the next segment. And then later on in our show, you'll hear from Blake Bowen of Etowah and Shane Chappell of Southside as we're just getting started on the Locker Room. Don't go away. We'll be right back with more as we continue on the Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.
Can I help make pancakes, Dad?
Of course, buddy. I absolutely love these cabinets we have here in our showroom. And as much as you like these right here, the options on this kitchen over here, I think you're going to... For real, Randall?
I love this kitchen.
Let's do a kitchen makeover in your home.
Fair enough.
Seriously, guys?
We made you one.
Okay. We ought to do this more often.
We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life. a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. A place to use the gifts and talents God has given you. A place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
Ted's Floors and Beyond brings you the locker room each and every day. Ted's Floors and Beyond has all your flooring needs, whether it's hardwood, laminate, carpet, tile, or luxury vinyl. They have it for you right there at Ted's. You can go by the showroom there in Anniston. You can pick out what you like, want, and need, and they can do it right there at Ted's. Also, they've got their partnership with Welborn Cabinet and will offer you a complete kitchen or bath makeover. That includes cabinets, countertops, flooring, backsplashes, tile showers. They can get it done there at Ted's Floors and Beyond. And now they offer you work on your outdoor space, whether it's an outdoor kitchen, patio, or living space. They have specially made outdoor tiles and stones that can enhance your outdoor experience. Go by and see them today at their showroom in Anniston on Highway 431, right before you get to Sachs Elementary School, or visit them online at shopteds.com. That's shopteds.com. Ted's Floors and Beyond brings you the locker room. We continue on this Tuesday afternoon. We're talking the first round of the state playoffs as we now talk Etowah County baseball, also the Gadsden area as well. I was up in Etowah County earlier today. I started my day at Westbrook Christian and went from there over to Southside. Left Southside, went to Etowah, and then finished the day off at Coosa Christian. So we talked with 4 different head coaches from all 4 winning programs that are playing in the second round of the state playoffs. Our final stop, though, was at Coosa. We talked with the Conquerors head coach Dewayne Boyd and talked a little bit about the Coosa Christian Conquerors. This is a team that made a deep run in the state playoffs just 1 year ago and is looking to repeat that once again, but get even further this time. So let's see how Coosa Christian did in the first round of the state playoffs, because they hosted a very good Hubbartville team in the first round. So it was certainly not a cakewalk for Coosa Christian. Matter of fact, it took 3 games. It was a nail-biting 3-game series. The Coosa Christian Conquerors and Hubbartville split on Friday night as Hubbartville won game 1 2-1. Coosa won game 2 11-1, and that sent them to Saturday. In Saturday's game, Coosa led 4-1 in the top of the 7th inning before the Lions rallied to score 3 unearned runs to tie the game at 4 apiece, which sent things to extra innings. Coosa Christian Conquerors starter Ren Gladden managed to escape a sticky situation in the 8th with bases loaded as he struck out Hubbartville to keep the score where it was at. Well, the drama continued in the bottom of the 8th when John David Justice led off with a double, but he was ruled out by the umpire. They said he missed first base, but Cleto Bryant hit a double. Brian Johnson got an infield hit. That allowed O'Brien to score from second and ultimately gave Coosa Christian the series win over Hubbartville 5-4 and advanced Coosa Christian to the next round. Gladden pitched a complete game for the Conquerors. He allowed no earned run while striking out 6. Also, earlier in the game, John David Justice had an RBI. Dylan Edwards and Brody Nelson each scored a run. Hubbartville also had a strong game as well, although they fell short, but you got to look at what they did. In the series opening game on Friday, where you see a Hubbartville 1 2-1, that was Blaze Wakefield. He pitched for Hubbartville. He outperformed Coosa. He pitched 6 in the 3rd inning, allowing just 3 hits and 1 run. Coosa Christian starter John David Justice had a solid game. He only gave up 2 hits. He fanned 7, but Coosa Christian fell short. In the second game, though, Coosa won big 11-1. John David Justice had an RBI triple. Solid performance from Gladden and Keith Johnson. They had multiple hits. We talked with the head coach of the Coosa Christian Conquerors, Coach Dewayne Boyd, where he talked more about beating Hubbartville in 3 games.
Yeah, man, it was a good win for our guys. Hubbartville, they gave us all we wanted. Very good program, very young, very good program. 2 9th graders, low 80s, and we had our work cut out for us. A lot of 1A matchups, first round. Sometimes you get kind of that easy draw. We didn't, but it was good for our guys because adversity is a beautiful thing. So if you lose, it teaches you to grow and not to. You always respect your competition, always respect who you play. So that was good for us in that first round, being at home, getting our feet wet. We go to Addison this week, so it's going to be another tough matchup for us.
Coosa Christian has already replicated one thing they did a year ago, which was make the second round of the state playoffs. Here's an updated look at the bracket for Coosa Christian. They got the win over Hubbartville, so they advanced to the second round of the state playoffs. Addison went on the road and defeated Covenant Christian. There was only 2 teams in 1A that went on the road and won in the first round, and Addison was one of those. So, with that being said, the Coosa Christian Conquerors will hit the road this week in the second round, where they will travel to Addison. We talked with Coach Dewayne Boyd about Addison. Here he is telling us more about their second round opponent.
Yeah, Addison, man, they're going to swing it well, and they got some guys that can throw it a little bit. But we've always said this: we always like us if we play the way we're supposed to. But that never happens. Playoff baseball's funny. I'll say that a lot of times just because you're the better team or you feel like you're the better team doesn't mean you win. Everything's under a microscope. You got to make every play. You got to throw guys out. You got to watch the walks. Pass balls got to be limited. So a lot of things come into factor. So we respect our opponent. We know Addison's going to be a tough competition for us. And hey, but it's like I tell our guys: one pitch, one play, one strike, everything, just one thing at a time, and then we'll go from there. So we look forward to it. It'll be good for our guys.
Good luck to the Coosa Christian Conquerors in the second round of the state playoffs on the road at Addison. Let's talk about the next team in Etowah County, or up in the area, that fell short, though. Unfortunately for the Glencoe Yellow Jackets, they saw their season come to an end at the hands of Lauderdale County. In the opening game, it did go to extra innings, but Miles Edwards hit a walk-off RBI single in the bottom of the ninth, and that gave Lauderdale County the 5-4 win. Glencoe had actually jumped out early in that game with Jaden Patton's 2-out hit, and then Jake Boggs and Aiden Johnson gave them the 2-0 lead. But Lauderdale County fought back, tied the game at 4 apiece after RBI hits by Edwards and Justin Slayton. But for Glencoe, hey, a lot of positives. Brady Kitchens held the Tigers scoreless from the second inning to the ninth. He gave up 8 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk while striking out 8. Patton had a 2-for-4 performance with 2 RBIs. In game 2, though, Glencoe could not generate enough. Glencoe could not come up with enough offense, as they only had 3 hits off of Slayton, who pitched 6 innings for Lauderdale County. The Yellow Jackets' only run came from Bryce, who had an RBI ground out in the bottom of the second. And so although Glencoe had a good game pitching, could not come up with enough offense. But this was the first playoff appearance for Glencoe since 2019. So a great season for the Glencoe Yellow Jackets. Looking at what that bracket stands, yeah, we could have saw Glencoe and Welborn. Instead, it's Lauderdale County and Plainview, as it'll be Lauderdale County that hosts Plainview this week in the second round of the 3A state playoffs. Let's stay in 3A, though. Let's look at Westbrook Christian, the Warriors. Very young team, by the way. Well, Westbrook Christian dominated Elkmont in the first round of the state playoffs. In Game 1, the Warriors jumped out to a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first inning, thanks to Brady Carden's hit by pitch with the bases loaded, and then Jacob Maples scored on a pass ball. Elkmont would respond, though, as they got on the board in the top of the second. Brock Ferguson hit an RBI single. But then, right after that, Westbrook scored 4 runs. Cameron Carden hit an RBI double. Brody Johnson scored a run-scoring single. Noah Wright had a 2-run double. And Westbrook jumped out on them. They had a 7-1 lead. Noah Wright hit, again, that 2-run double. Elkmont would get a home run from Jesse Hobbs, but ultimately Westbrook got the win 7-2. The winning pitcher for Westbrook was Dylan Rainey. He pitched 5 innings, allowing 4 hits, no earned runs, and 3 walks, while striking out 8. Bo Kilgo pitched 2 innings of relief, allowing 2 hits, 1 earned run, and 2 walks with 2 strikeouts. Offensively for Westbrook, Cameron Carden went 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a run scored, while Johnson went 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. In Game 2, though, completely different type of game. Absolute dominance, 19-0 win. Braden Kay pitched phenomenal. He pitched 5 innings, gave up just 1 hit, 1 walk, and struck out 6. He retired 16 of 17 Elkmont batters that he faced. He retired the side in order in the first, 4th, and 5th innings. Meanwhile, 19 runs means you scored a lot. Well, Westbrook overwhelmed Elkmont. You had Johnson and Will Chadwick, who each went 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs, 2-run scores. Blevins had a 2 RBI triple and a run scored. Noah Wright had a hit, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. And Maples had a hit, 2 RBIs and a run scored. We talked with the head coach of the Westbrook Christian Warriors, Coach Jerry Windle, where he talked more about getting the sweep over Elkmont.
Boys played well for the most part. We were a little slow start. That's probably nerves. Got a lot of young guys. And first round of the playoffs, some of them their first playoff experience. So we started a little slow, and I have to say Elkmont pitched well and played good defense, and we were able to get some stuff going with a big hit late in the game that helped us kind of distance a little bit. They played us tight for a couple, 3 innings. The next game we had a little bit better of an idea, and guys had settled in a bit, and Elkmont struggled on the mound some, and so that put us in some positions to score some runs early, and it's tough in high school to come back from a deficit early. So I was proud of the way they finished. A lot of guys got to play both of those games, which is always fun, great as a team. So we felt really fortunate to to move on to the second round. So here we are, and we're using this week to prepare for Colbert County.
And you heard him say it right there, Colbert County. That is the team that Westbrook Christian's going to pair up with in the second round. Colbert County got the win over J.B. Pennington. Westbrook Christian got the win over Elkmont. Colbert County and Westbrook Christian were both at home last week, so Colbert County is the top team. So that does mean that Westbrook Christian will have to go on the road this week, as Westbrook Christian will travel to Colbert County. Let's go back to Coach Jerry Windle as he gives us a little more insight on their opponent for this week, which is Colbert County.
Yeah, so they've got a couple arms. From what I know, we haven't played them this year, but from what I know, they're very athletic. They've got a couple real scrappy, get after it and play hard. They've got some seniority that will help and carry them. They did really well in the area this year. They had to play in some tight series, so I think that gives them a foundation to be really competitive, and that's what I've been told, is that they're a real competitive team. So we've got to go and return the favor and be super competitive. We're young this year, as I mentioned to you before, but we've got some guys that are no longer freshmen and no longer sophomores. But at this point in the season, they've had a year of playing some really tough opponents. We try to schedule teams that we think are a good bit better than us early in the year, some bigger teams, 5A, 6A, 7A teams that put a lot of pressure on us. And so I think at this time, and we have a really difficult area, very tough area, and we were able to kind of scrap through some tough games, some tough series, and it's put us in a position where I think we're ready to go and compete, but it's not going to come easy. Colbert County's a good foundational team, and we'll have to show up and execute.
Good luck to the Westbrook Christian Warriors in the second round of the state playoffs. And a big thank you to Coach Boyd from Coosa Christian and Coach Windle of Westbrook Christian of allowing me to come to their schools today. Had a great visit at Westbrook Christian. Coach Windle is a man of God, and that certainly was something that stood out to me. And for Coach Boyd at Coosa Christian, very welcoming and just allowing us to come in and be at home. So thank you to both of those coaches. Hey, those were not the only two coaches I talked to today, though. We also made a trip to Etowah to talk with Coach Bohm. We made a trip to Southside to talk to Coach Chappell. You'll hear from both of those coaches when we come back. We'll take a break. You're watching The Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.
Can I help make pancakes, Dad?
Of course, buddy.
I absolutely love these cabinets we have here in our showroom. And as much as you like these right here, the options on this kitchen over here, I think you're going to... For real, Randall?
I love this kitchen.
Let's do a kitchen makeover in your home.
Fair enough.
Seriously, guys?
We made you one.
Okay. We ought to do this more often.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
Welcome back into the Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond. I'm Namath Pitts. Happy Tuesday afternoon. Hey, I want to remind you to hit that like and follow button on our East Alabama Now page so that you don't miss the Locker Room. We're here every weekday, Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Also tonight on our East Alabama Now news, Mike Stedham's got the night off, but Katie Edwards will be bringing you your local news. John Holder has your local weather, as always, and I'll be bringing you your sports. Hey, we pick right back up into the action, talking about the first round of the state playoffs, covering teams from the Etowah County and Gadsden area. One of those teams, though, that advanced to the second round of the state playoffs was the Etowah Blue Devils. Now, we talked a little bit about them yesterday, so I'm going to pretty much kind of just repeat the same kind of stats and information I gave you guys yesterday. But today, we're going to talk with Coach Blake Bone of the Etowah Blue Devils. Now, if you don't know, Etowah is your defending Class 4A state champions. They won the state championship just 1 year ago. And in order to get to that state championship, they had to go through the same team that they'll have to go through this week. But how did Etowah get here? How did they make the second round? Well, here's what they did in the first round. They hosted White Plains. Blake Jennings' team made the playoffs for the first time in a long time, 2014 to be exact. And Etowah had a big weekend. They stole 14 bases over 2 games. And I got to tell you what, White Plains jumped out to a 1-0 lead, but Etowah scored 3 runs in the second inning. Bodie Bennett went 2 for 3 with a double, had an RBI and 2 runs. Slade St. Clair hit a 2-run triple and scored a run. My guy, Avery Haynes, had a hit, an RBI, and a run scored. His dad shared that double with me, by the way, on video. Hopefully we'll get that out to you guys here soon. In Game 2, though, 12-1 win for Etowah. And, they basically took that momentum from Game 1 into Game 2. Sissom pitched really effective for the Blue Devils. By the way, Mississippi State guy, going to head to Mississippi State. He retired the side in order in the 4th and 5th inning. Cash Hayes had an unbelievable game in Game 2. He went 4 for 4 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. St. Clair went 2 for 3 with a home run, 2 RBIs and a run scored. Bennett went 2 for 4 with a triple and 2 runs scored. Bennett Reese went 2 for 3 with a double, an RBI, and 2 runs scored. And that's not it. Sissom and Bailey Wilder each had a hit and an RBI and a run scored, while Connor Dingler had a 2 RBI base hit. We talked with the head coach, by the way, state champion head coach, Blake Bone, where he talked more about their first round win over White Plains.
Yeah, White Plains had a really solid club. The guys came in and we knew they were going to swing the bats well and play hard. That's what they've done all year. And, I thought our guys, Game 1 played probably our most complete game all year, I believe, as far as defense, pitching, base running. We kind of put it all together. We kind of had a lot of our games that we throw well, not swing it well, or we'd make some mistakes behind our pitchers, or we'd walk too many guys. But I think in the series we only walked 5 guys in 2 games, and I think we played error-free baseball the whole series. So that was big for us, and we had a lot of guys step up to the plate offensively. A couple of our seniors had really big series with Slade, St. Clair, and Bodie Bennett, both producing a lot of hits and RBIs on the offensive side of the ball for us.
So Etowah advances to the second round of the state playoffs. They will hit the road this week, and it's like deja vu. Last year in the second round of the state playoffs, Etowah played Corner, but they played them at home. They beat Corner in 2 games last year. They won Game 1 8-6 and won Game 2 11-1. Obviously, Corner's a little bit better this year. This year, Etowah will travel to Corner. So they hosted them last year in the second round. This time they go to Corner. So same opponent from a year ago in the second round. Here's Coach Blake Bone talking more about the Corner Yellow Jackets.
Well, Corner was a big matchup last year, same round, second round. But last year we got them at home. And we felt like if we get past Corner last year, there'd be a good shot to get to the finals. And we kind of feel the same way this year. They're really good on the mound. They're big and physical, and look to hit the long ball. So it's gonna be a tough series, man, going up there and playing those guys. But I feel like we've had a really good couple days of preparation, and our guys are ready for that challenge. And the preparation is a big part of it, and then you just got to go out there and execute. So I think we're on the right track of getting prepared. Now it's just putting those last final touches on it, and then going to execute on Thursday.
Good luck to the Etowah Blue Devils in the second round of the state playoffs. One team, though, in the area that I don't think many expected to see their season end in the first round of state playoffs was the Boaz Pirates. This was a team that was really solid all year long. Well, Leeds and Boaz split the series on Friday. Leeds jumped out to a 3-0 lead in that first inning, and they held on to it as they won the game 3-1. And Connor Nelson hit a home run. Ty Bedwell got on base with a single. And then Graham Gulock and Will Thomas each contributed to the scoring as Leeds took game 1 3-1. In the second game, Leeds jumped out to another lead, this time 2-0. Phillips hit a single. Nash, Jones, and Thomas reached base. Gulock scored. However, Boaz responded, took the lead with a 3-run sixth inning, resulting in a 4-2 win. Phillips led the day at the plate in game 2. Ryder Chambers and Joseph Bryant combined to pitch, allowing 4 hits, 4 runs, and striking out 4. That took us to a winner-take-all game on Saturday, and Leeds just dominated Boaz. It was tied 1-1 after the first inning, and then Leeds took control, adding a run in the second, 5 in the third, kept Boaz scoreless. Nolan Moore pitched 6+ innings, allowing 7 hits, 1 run, and striking out 6. Will Thomas led Leeds at the plate with 4 RBIs, while Moore contributed 2 more RBIs as Leeds got the win 10-1 in Game 3 as that ended Boaz's season. All right, the final team let's take a look at that bracket real quick, though, before we move forward, because this could be someone that Alexandria might see later on. Could be. Or Southside, better yet. So Leeds and Russellville both won last week, so Russellville will head to Leeds this week. So Leeds got the win over Boaz. They're at home again, and the winner of this series, I believe, matches up with the next team we're going to talk about, which is Southside. And let's talk about the Southside Panthers. This team was in the same area as Alexandria. They were runner-up to Alexandria, so they traveled to Arab, which is a very tough place to play. It took 3 games, and Southside could have finished it in 2. They had a 4-2 lead over Arab in 6 innings. But then Albert had a run-scoring single in the top of the first. This is how they jumped out to the 4-2 lead, is Albert had a run-scoring single in the top of the first. Ethan had a single in the fourth that plated Albert. Shelby Houston ended up starting the game for Southside. He held Arab scoreless from the 3rd inning through the 6th, allowing only 3 base runners. However, Arab, in the bottom of the 7th inning, their final 3 outs, came back. Evan Brazelton hit a base-clearing single. Dylan Kirkland hit a walk-off RBI base hit as Arab got the win over Southside. All right, then we go to, by the way, in Game 1, Albert went 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run scored. Sarrett had a hit, an RBI, and a run scored. And despite Houston's strong pitching performance, Arab forced that do-or-die Game 2 for Southside. All right, we go to Game 2. Arab jumped out to a 3-0 lead, but Southside got things going on a Trey single that scored Albert and Corbin Driscoll. Then Southside continued that momentum in the 5th inning. Driscoll had a bunt scoring Carson McGraw. That was followed by Albert's double that drove in Cutter Johnson and Driscoll. Southside ends up getting the win in Game 2, which forces a Game 3. And by the way, in Game 2, Eli Stewart struck out the first 2 batters in the top of the 7th, got a ground out. He pitched 4.2 innings, 4 2/3, allowing 4 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and fanned 4. In Game 2, Albert was 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. McGraw went 2 for 3 with a run scored, and Driscoll had a hit, RBI, and 2 runs. In the Game 3, winner take all, I got to tell you what, it was all Southside. Arab actually jumped out to a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the 2nd, but Southside came back. They secured the win with a run in the top of the 1st, 2 in the 4th, and another 2 in the 6th. Houston's bunt scored Albert in the 4th. Stewart's single brought in Houston for the lead. Southside added insurance in the 6th with RBIs from 2 different players. Houston went 2 for 3 with an RBI and 2 runs scored. And Southside advanced to the second round of state playoffs. But we talked with the head coach of the Southside Panthers, Coach Shane Chappell, where he talked more about beating Arab on the road in 3 games.
Well, I was proud of our guys for the way they were able to battle through adversity. We go up to Arab. We knew it was going to be challenging. Coach Hudson, does a great job. They were really, really good last year. They lost a lot of seniors, but we knew just how well they're coached and the kind of players they had, that it was going to be a challenging series. And then going there, their community does a great job of turning out, had a great atmosphere. And so, we got into game one. I felt pretty good. Was in control for the most part. I think we end up 6-2 going to the seventh. We had 2 outs to get, and just unfortunately we're not able to close the deal there, which put forth a challenge for our guys is how we're going to respond. And we got into game 2, I think, and we got down. I think we were down 3-0 at some point. And then we ended up making a pitching change, going to Eli Stewart, which is a sophomore. And he was phenomenal. Kept us right there in the game, and we were able to do some things offensively to take the lead. And then we ended up, I think we were up 5-4 in the 7th. They had runners on first and third, and then we got a ground ball to shortstop, Alberghini, and he flipped to second for the final out. And I don't think that Friday there was a stress-free moment in any part of the game. But I was just proud of our guys, the way we bounced back, from the heartbreak of losing game 1 to being down in game 2 and then being able to fight back. And then, we go to game 3, anything can happen in game 3. We went to with senior Trey Frazier on the mound, who has had a little bit of probably on the mound. I think he would agree with a little bit of inconsistent year, especially for what he's probably expecting. And, gave him the ball, and he was big time in a big moment. Win a complete game, gave us a chance to get that win, and we again did a great job offensively, scoring runs when we had to, and then really good job defensively. I think we only had maybe 1, maybe 2 errors on the whole series. So I was proud of our guys for how they battled through that situation, and I feel like that's going to be something that we can pull from for this week. We're going to have another challenging week ahead.
All right, Southside advances to the second round of the state playoffs, and they will be at home. It's kind of interesting. You look at Calhoun County, Alexandria on the road, Piedmont on the road, Oxford on the road. Donahoe's the only home team. You look at Etowah, Gaston area, well, Coosa on the road, Westbrook on the road, Etowah on the road. Southside's the only team at home. They are going to host Springville, really good team. And so Springville comes to Southside this week for the second round of state playoffs. These teams have met twice this season in the regular season. Springville took both of those games, but we did ask Coach Shane Chappell about playing Springville at home. Here he is talking more about Springville.
Yeah, we got Springville coming in this week for round 2. We're familiar with Springville. Coach Ford does a great job. He's had over the last several years have been running one of the best teams in the state in their class. I think 2019 they ended up beating us in the quarterfinals and ended up going on to win the state championship. And they got another good team this year. I think they're 25-9, which speaks a lot of itself that they know how to win games. They're really solid on the mound. I know they're led by Carter Samuelson, who's the number 1, who's tough to score on. I think he's only been giving up like 3 earned runs all year. Then they got Alex Holland, who's usually their game 2 guy. He's kind of the same situation. He's just very, very good on the mound. Defensively, they're going to be very solid. They're going to make the routine plays. And then offensively, you got Grant Martinez, who's kind of in the middle of the order, who's dangerous, and then you got Alex Holland again, Jacob Connor, those kind of guys that we got to make sure we're careful and know how to pitch. But I think our guys are excited. I think what we did last weekend, was a big boost in confidence. Shelby Houston, who's a freshman who started game 1 for us, and ended up going 6 innings in a third, and came out with a lead. I think just having that under his belt going into this series is going to be another boost of confidence for him. And same thing with Eli Stewart and Trey Frazier and those guys. So we just know there's a challenge that it's not going to be easy. That we got to be able to handle adversity, because there's going to be times that things aren't going to go our way. Whether it's a mistake by us or something they do good by them, that we've got to be able to just play pitch by pitch, inning by inning, and just keep punching back. So we're looking forward to that challenge. Right now our focus is just trying to have a good week of practice. We had a good start yesterday. Hopefully we'll stack another day today and do 2 more days on Wednesday and Thursday and hopefully have confidence knowing because of our preparation.
Good luck to the Southside Panthers in the second round of the state playoffs. Hey, that is going to do it for us today. That is it. So we hope that you'll join us here at East Alabama Now tonight at 6:30 p.m. for our East Alabama Now news. Other than that, I hope you all have a great Tuesday afternoon. God bless, and thank you for watching The Locker Room presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.